Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to the channel. My name is T and this is my channel, Crumpets Tea and Sewing. Thank you so much for all my supporters, for tuning in every week and for liking my videos and commenting on my videos. Thank you so much. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you push that red subscribe button below this video and push the notification bell as well so you can receive notifications of my videos when I post them. Alright, so today's video is going to be following the Vogue V9357 pattern, and I'll put a picture somewhere in this video because every time I put the pattern up, the light is just too much for right now to be able to see it. So I'll put a picture up so that you can see. And this pattern comes with 6 different variations. And you have different sleeve variations. You have, you have one sleeve, but you have the option to do the garment with or without sleeves. So you have a cap sleeve, but that cap sleeve is just that. You don't have a sleeve that extends down underneath the armhole area. And so I made my own sleeves, as you see on this garment, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in the later part of the video. You also have the garment features a zipper that goes in the back, so it's an invisible zipper that goes in the back. You have different pocket variations where you could put the pockets on the outside of the skirt, or you can do pockets on the inside of the skirt. And there's also a button detail, an option where you can do a button detail where you can put buttons going down the center front skirt. And that's what I did on this one. If you can't see it, I'll make sure that I get close up so that you can see the button detail on this dress. And then there's a midriff, a yoke, and also side fronts. And you have back darts as well, and it's a fitted garment. So I made a mistake, and I accidentally made 2 garments. And the reason why is because initially I wanted to go with this Asian inspired print, and I wanted to match prints, and I wanted to do the Asian inspired print with the stripe. And after working with the fabric all week, I have decided that it just did not look very well. And I also posted a poll question on my Instagram account on my stories last week, and I asked my followers, you know, should I go with the striped fabric, or should I just make it out of something else, something that is like a black fabric? And majority of the votes were for black, and so I decided to just go ahead and make the main garment out of the Asian inspired, and then just do the contrast in the black fabric, which is a 100% Kona fabric that I purchased from Joann's. And this Asian inspired is a premium cotton that is also 100% cotton that I purchased from Joann's as well. The dress that I have on, the striped fabric is also a cotton fabric, and it is a calico print. And then the black fabric is also Kona as well. So, so those are the fabrics that I have chosen for both projects. And I was going to use the striped fabric after I realized that the prints didn't match well. I was going to use the striped fabric as a lining for the bodice of this one. And then I decided after doing the lining for the bodice that it just looked too good to be only on the inside of a garment. And so I decided to make a second dress out of it. And both of these are lined. So not fully lined, just the bodice portion of the dress is lined on both dresses. So let me tell you more about my experience with the pattern. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I made my own sleeves. So basically the only thing that I did is I measured the front and the back armhole after I put the darts in the back of the garment, because I wanted to make sure that you know, the finished armhole area in that area was going to be that the sleeve was going to be the same length as the finished armhole. So I went ahead and did the darts in the back, and I also attached the side seams as well, so that way I could get an accurate measurement of the arm side. And so I measured the front and the back, and after I measured the front and the back, I just basically took a sleeve band out of like a Berta pattern, and kind of I just wanted that same structure as a sleeve band, and I'll pop a video in here so that you can see what I'm talking about. And I just basically kind of manipulated my pattern so that it could have the same shape. So that's basically all I had to do. It sounds really complicated, but it really is not. You just have to make sure that that everything is about the same size. And I also made sure that I included seam allowance with that sleeve band as well. So yeah, that's basically all that I did. The pattern comes with instructions to do bias binding around the neck edge, and so that's what I did for both garments to finish off the top. So even though both pieces are lined, I didn't do the whole method where you put the lined portion of the garment facing with right sides facing to the shell of the garment, and then stitching around the neckline, and then clipping the edges and flipping it in. I didn't do that. I just decided to just go ahead and put the bias binding on the neck edge, and so everything was put wrong sides together. So the lining was put with the shell of the garment with wrong sides together, and I just basted the neck edge around, and then I attached the bias binding. The midriff, I did have a little bit of trouble with that, only because it was really short and I had to extend the midriff, and I'm not the only one who has had this problem. I placed that question on my stories, and a couple of people did get back to me and said yes, the midriff was a bit short and I had to fix it. So so that's just a note for all of you who may be wanting to do this pattern, that the midriff is a little bit on the short side and you might have to lengthen it some. I think that's about it. I think that this was a really great make. It's easy. You just have to make sure that, like I said, that midriff is, it fits, because otherwise you will have some trouble with that. But other than that, everything went smoothly, and I did a very narrow hem on both skirts of the garment, and yeah, that's it. So I'll make sure that I pop some pictures in so that you can see both dresses, and then you can tell me what you think of both dresses. So I'm not too crazy about the Asian inspired one, which is funny because it was the one that I really wanted to make, but I still think it's great. But you let me know your thoughts and your comments on it. And then lastly, I'll tell you the view that I chose, and then also the sizes, because I forgot to tell you about that. So I chose view C, which is the really long dress. Actually, I chose a combination of views. So I chose the variation that has the short skirt, but view C has the large pockets, and I chose that view because I really like the pockets. It is also the view that has the button detail that goes down the length of the skirt, and so that's another reason why I chose that view. I actually love this pattern. I really do. But I don't think I would make it again, only because I made it twice and I don't really have need for dresses in this style. So that's the only reason why. But if I had need for a dress like this, I would definitely make it again, because it's easy and it's simple. The instructions are very easy and straightforward, and I really appreciated that. And yeah, so anyway, sizes, I chose a size 16 for the bust, 18 for the waist. And I didn't need to do any alterations or adjustments, which I was really surprised by. Also, I want to let you all know, and I don't know, for those of you who are watching who probably made this dress, or are in the process of making this dress, you may have found out something differently than I have. But for me, what I have found is that for the bust, it seems a bit off. So it's saying that for the bust, the finished measurements are 43 inches. I don't believe that to be true. Only because any garment that I wear, the finished measurements are going to be somewhere around the 40 to a 41, and that's with ease. And this seems pretty fitted to me. And this is a size 4 or size 16, which is supposed to be a 43 inches for the bust. So just keep that in mind. You might need to figure out if the size that is listed on the finished measurements that are listed on the tissue paper, if that is actually your, the finished measurements for you. Also, the size 34 inches for the waist, I'm also questioning that a little bit, because my waist is about 32.5 to 33 inches. And so I just don't feel that extra inch or inch and a half of ease in there. It's pretty fitted. So that's just something to think about going forward if you are thinking about making this. And like I said, somebody else might have had a different experience with it, but that's what my experience is. And it could be because of the type of fabric I chose. This is all 100% cotton. It does suggest fabrics. The pattern does suggest fabrics such as broadcloth, silk type fabrics and things like that. And since this is a 100% cotton, broadcloth is pretty much similar to it. So I don't see why that would affect anything, but cotton is very stiff, and so that could be one of the reasons why. So anyway, I think that just about sums up this review. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. If you have any questions about these two makes or about the pattern, please make sure that you leave all your questions, comments, suggestions, or even if you have recommendations or anything like that, please make sure you leave them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your support and your encouragement. And until next time, stay creative, my friends.